Society makes you feel like you got to try to be the man. And I don't have nothing wrong with man and woman being together, and I would like to see that happen in this house. So I don't care really, and I have to get past that in my head. I don't care how society feels about it. I don't need you to tell me I'm a strong black woman, or I'm an intelligent black woman, or I'm an educated black woman. I can be all of those and be married and have a family and not kill myself trying to prove either one of those points to the world. Hey everyone, it's Sylvia Johnson, and I am here just to give you a brief introduction to this video. Kanisha and I are going to have a very in-depth conversation about the single life as a saved Christian woman at the age of 40, me. But we found, as I was talking, that it is a very in-depth conversation. There's the faith piece, there is the emotional piece, and then there's the society piece. And all of that made out for a really long conversation. So our decision was to break them up into a series instead of just one video. This is part 1 in the series. I asked that you just listen, put in the comments any experiences or ways that you relate to what I have to say, and keep me in your prayers because this was a hard conversation to have, a slightly uncomfortable conversation to have, but a much needed conversation to have. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
You know, I think we just have to get right into this.
We do. We just have to get right. Because when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that's how you be feeling.
We just have to go, we have to get right into it because it has to be addressed. Mm-hmm. And I think today we're going to tackle it.
Yep. So this video is for the single ladies. And maybe the single men. You might get some of that too. So I dated like normal people. I don't know what that is.
People that are normal.
I dated like young people do. But I was always dating with the intention of meeting that one. Mm-hmm. I was never one of those, we're just hanging out, let's just have fun people at first. But, you know, after dating people, none of them worked out. And this is by no means like a male bashing or anything. Some of those people just didn't work out because we weren't compatible. Mm-hmm. Or we were going in different directions. Some of those people were awful. But they're not all bad.
Right.
But for whatever reason,
it just didn't work.
It did not work. And then that's when, you know, as I'm getting older, and not older, but just as time is passing, I started like questioning myself, right? I'm starting to look at me. Something wrong with me? Am I not smart enough? Like, am I picking the wrong people? Obviously I was. You know, like, is my judgment flawed? Am I ugly? Like,
not at all.
Like, you start to pick at yourself and it's not just in dating. When you want something and you're not doing it or you're not succeeding in it, you really start to like
process of eliminations. Now, what's going on?
What's wrong? Like, am I the issue here? Am I what's wrong here?
You want to know why.
And you want to know why.
I mean, that's normal. If you're trying to pursue something and I'm doing this, why am I not getting the results?
And not just that, but I want to be clear that, like, I'm not, some people just want to be married, or some people just want to have a wedding. I wanted a family life. I wanted my best friend, my life partner, the person, we would be a team together. We would accomplish things together. I want someone to talk to. That's something that people take for granted. And I think a lot of people realized during COVID that social aspect of being in community or being with other people is significant to our well-being. And so, you know, it wasn't just like everybody else is getting married, I want to get married. I had a life goal and it was relevant and I wasn't able to accomplish it, mainly because part of that goal is depending on another person. So and then, you know, people start helping you, and that's when it gets really interesting. People's intentions are good, but they don't always be right. No, they kind of unhelp you a little bit. You know, maybe you need to pray more. You know, this is after you get saved, right? Like, you try to say I'm not praying. You know, like, people start giving you that formula. You need to talk to God. You need to tell him what you want.
Wait on the Lord.
Wait on the Lord. You met your husband when you were 6. You know how many times?
No, but for real though.
You hear it a lot. And if you're a single woman watching this, you know somebody done told you need to wait on the Lord. I am waiting on the Lord. That's why I ain't married. Like, that's what you mean, wait on the Lord.
I'm waiting.
You need to try harder. Try harder what? Like what am I supposed to be doing? People, be nicer. I wrote this one on here. Don't be so successful. So,
what?
You have too much going for you. I've been told that many times. You have too much going for you. And not that it matters to you all, but yeah, I went to school. I graduated. I went to grad school and things like I've worked, and you have too much going for you. It's intimidating to men. They don't want that. What would you like me to give up? You know, so people think they're helping you. It's not helping. It's not helping. And that made it frustrating. More frustrating. And then it kind of felt like people were telling me that this is my fault. And then that made me harsher on myself. And that's why I said this is a soft spot. Because for years now, because I'm 40 now, right? And I first started dating, really, like senior in high school. Yeah, I thought he was the one. Like, so 20 some odd years of dating activity. And it all boils down to people telling me what I'm doing wrong. And me now, as I'm like growing in my faith, I'm going back to God, asking him also, like, is this me? Is this my fault? Am I wrong? And what was really challenging is he never answered. And like never a word. Like we
never said a mumbling word.
Not a mumbling word. Can you call for something? Hello? I know people can relate to that. Like, you go before the Lord on things, and we've talked about him answering prayers, and he answers, but then you bring up this and he goes, Mom. It's like, can we talk about everything? And so it's just been for me a really challenging place, because I didn't know how to feel about it. I felt like I'm supposed to have faith. This is after I get saved, right? I'm supposed to have faith. I'm supposed to believe in God. And anytime I had a negative thought about it, I felt like I wasn't being faithful or I wasn't believing in God. So then I felt wrong in myself for feeling that way. And I could never feel free in saying I'm unhappy with this. So there was like this, like, I guess it's kind of like this vicious cycle that I was going through. And I wrote here, like, I had this range of emotions towards God where I would be like hope, and then I'd have fatigue, and then I'd be disappointed, and then I would be afraid, because I would be afraid once I got to disappointment. And I have never told anybody this, but I remember praying to God, is this your will for my life? And then immediately being afraid that if he said yes, how will I ever accept this? How will this be what drives me away? Will I ever learn to live with this not being content? Will this be what makes me bitter and angry and turn, and so then I had this fear that this would be what drove the wedge. And because I look at people who fall away, and people don't intend to fall away. No. Right? And I would look at it and I would like, this is something that I've always wanted. It's the thing that I've wanted most, is to be in a family. And if you don't want this for me, can I accept this? And immediately thinking in my mind, it's going to be a problem. And not feeling honest enough to be able to say it. Like, I can't say I'm going to have a problem with this.
Good.
This is not good. It's not good. And so constantly searching, and he didn't answer. I don't know if I said this at the beginning or not, but if you're looking for like this fairy tale perfect story, that's not how it's been for me. This has been my struggle. Well, it's been a struggle. We all have multiple struggles, but this has been a serious struggle because it was something that was of such high value. And I'll be honest, in my sincere feeling is that we look at other people, hashtag salty, right? There was a period where I didn't go to weddings because it hurt. And I don't know where this fits in, but I put society's views in here. The independent woman. You know, you've got a master's degree and you've got, you know, you just bought a house and you did it by yourself and
all of that.
All of that, like you're doing good, you don't need a man. And in today's society, that's the other like conundrum, I guess you could say. You feel challenged or you feel wrong for saying I do need a person. A friend of mine and I were talking about that strong black woman thing. No, it is for other people to put you to work and to wring out everything they can out of you. I don't want that. You know, I want to be able to come home and enjoy myself and just sit with somebody and just have good conversation, you know? I don't want to work from sun up to sundown. I'm not trying to prove myself to the powers that be. You know, I know I'm smart. I'm blessed. Thank you, Jesus. I will go home. Like, you know, I don't want to.
My time.
I don't want to die on my job and do. I put in. You know, I want to contribute to the world around me and things like that. And I want someone to do that with. Society makes you feel like you got to try to be the man. And I don't have nothing wrong with man and woman being together, and I would like to see that happen in this house. So I don't care really, and I have to get past that in my head. I don't care how society feels about it. I don't need you to tell me I'm a strong black woman or I'm an intelligent black woman or I'm an educated black woman. I can be all of those and be married and have a family and not kill myself trying to prove either one of those points to the world. And that's what I wanted. And I had to get like in my head, quit listening now. That is not what you want. So anyway, that was my little tangent right there with society getting on my nerves with that. Tackling the faith part though was harder than putting the smack down on society.